Good afternoon, good evening, everyone watching at home. Welcome back to the 4-Digit World Cup. We are here with what would usually be the closest on-paper seeding matchup of the winner's bracket round of 16. Usually, this would be seed 8 versus seed 9 in the round of 16. However, Norway ended up upsetting last weekend, taking down seed number 8 in Brazil and moving on to the winner's bracket round of 16 to face France. So instead, it is seed 25 Norway looking to once again pull up the upset victory in the round of 16 against France and secure a place in the quarterfinals. I'm Dio. I'm here with Damarsh. We're here casting this match. How's it going, man?
Hey, man, it's going good. I mean, we've had a really, really nice and interesting round of 16. We've had a lot of really just banger matches, to be honest, throughout the weekend. So it's nice to finally come onto this one, which is a little bit interesting. I mean, like you said, Norway 25th seed, you know, they're down on average score by well over 300,000 in the qualifier results, but managing to go 5-2 against Brazil, it was a pretty clear, decisive victory. And we were just having a quick talk about this beforehand, that I'm really curious myself to see kind of if any of these teams are going to ban out that Hidden 2, because both of them had in their round of 32 match, had the Hidden 2 banned against them in their previous matchup. So it'd be interesting to see if there's a particular favorite out of these two teams.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be tough to say which of these teams is going to be better on that skill set as well. On the side of Norway, you have players like Yokespie, of course, who is fantastic at the low approach rate reading. Players like Anthony W, pretty solid at that, as well as a couple of other players like Marcus, Reed Horimiya, some old mainstays for this Norway team that kind of boost their overall support on those sorts of maps. For France, you just have a bunch of very good hidden players in general, not necessarily low approach rate mains, but very good hidden players overall. Players like Mize JD, Fie, Kalangi, all good hidden players. And players like Zhao Mamami, also a very solid tournament player in general, tends to be a little bit better at the more gimmicky picks, especially hidden. So there's a few really solid hidden players in particular on this France roster that can make it a little difficult for Norway to potentially take advantage there. I'm wondering if what will happen is it just will not be touched, won't be banned, won't be picked by either team, or if anything, I feel that France may be the ones to ban it out, just not wanting the Yokespie difference to manifest there. But we'll see how it goes here. Nomad1, the first ban out from France, not wanting to play the peak Nomad1 this weekend. Daily Care is just really good. Daily Care is just a great mapper. That map's awesome. So a little sad to not see that remake of Miro custom map here for WC 2025. And I think pretty predictably a Nomad 5 ban for Norway. They're good at a lot of things, but they're not good at speed.
Yeah, I definitely agree. That No Mod 5 is brutal if you do not have the roster for it. Of course, that does still leave a couple of maps open for France to take advantage of. You know, we've got a lot of that DT1, which kind of brings in that bursty speed. We're talking 278 BPM, very, very fast. You've got the sort of techie speed pick in the DT2. There's a couple of options for them if they still want to bank on that higher BPM skill set. The Nomad 1, sorry, not Nomad 1, the Nomad 2 is no slouch either. 210 BPM it's a short map, but it's still pretty brutal on its longer streams.
Yeah, let's see if they want to end up banning something like that, or maybe the DT1 as well could be a solid, or DT2 ban for Norway. As for France, if they want to keep banning AIM, there is the Hard Rock 1 as a possibility. The Free Mod 1 also something they could look to, but Hard Rock 1 definitely a lot more just straightforward aim as compared to the Free Mod 1. Oh, and actually I forgot, we are just one ban in the round of 16. Wait a second here. So yeah, no, it is just Nomad 2 first pick for France. So good call there, Damarsh. And yeah, it's just going to be Nomad 2 for France, which I think, again, as we were talking about, makes a lot of sense, right? Nomad 2, DT1, DT2, I think are all very good picks for France against this Norway team who just is not all that good at speed. They are, again, good at a lot of other things, but not the speed and tapping in particular. I mean, it's not like they are going to be that bad at it, but a lot of their best players, a lot of their mainstays are not really mechanics players for this roster, particularly tapping players.
Yeah, I mean, they're not... The whole roster, I mean, Norway's always been known for not having the speediest players in the world. They do have some exceptions, especially at the top end, but down here, they're definitely not going to be banking on those sorts of players. They will have some mainstays coming in for them, but you know the France side are very much going to be relying on players like Kalongi, Mize JD. You're also likely to have FA come in. No, sorry, not FA. Flavor, even.
Yeah, not a surprise at all for any of these players on the side of France that we see coming in here. As now we get to check out the first map here. Norway with Loloke, Ola, Mr. Wang, and I did see Frodo in for a minute for that, but no longer in the lobby, so not sure if he's going to be joining back in or if it's going to be somebody else. It will be Reid Hormia to take his place in the lobby as the fourth player for Norway. Nessie, Kalongi, Maizjedi, and Flavin in for France on their own first pick. Looking to start off the match well, looking to assert dominance on tapping in particular and open up the rest of those more tapping-focused picks for the rest of this match.
Yeah, definitely. If they can establish that early round dominance, they're going to just be able to really have some quite gentle picks for them in the early game. You know, they're only going to be really looking at that fourth map to really find something interesting, which puts a bit of pressure on Norway. If they can't break them here, they've got to go a long way in this match and have some really solid picks to go forward with. But let's see how they get on. Mr. Wang, sorry, going to be the first one to find a break. No one else really showing any issues, but accuracy is a big part. Mr. Wang really struggling early game. Hopefully to try and re-establish some of that, but there's a double break for Norway, though. Disaster.
Yeah, I mean, it feels early on, but this map is only 1 minute and 52 seconds. We're already a third of the way in. There's finally a couple of breaks for France. It is MizeJD and Flavin to trade it out, but it's just the one full combo left on Reid Hormia for Norway. That fourth player swap doing wonders for them right now, but the rest of the roster not able to keep up with the French team score at the moment. Kalongi and Nessie still on that double full combo. There is good recovery on Mr. Wang. There is better recovery on Loloke and Ola than on MizeJD and Flavin, but that score lead is 230k in favor of France, and it's going to come very slowly. Now, not at all, with Ola finding the miss as well. It's still just the one full combo for Norway, but you can't afford those supporting combo misses when you are behind overall. There is a traded miss from Flavin, but it's a better trade for France, and the score lead going up in their favor. 250k and climbing in favor of France. Two full combos left on Nessie and Kalongi near the end of the map. And all in all, a successful first pick for this French team, looking to continue taking advantage of these tapping maps later on into the map. 99 accuracy for MizeJD, Nessie, and Reid Hormia on the full combo there for Norway. Their 1 FC not going to be enough, because in addition to that double 99, France also had the double FC on Nessie and Kalongi.
Yeah, I mean, you can see it as well. Loloke having a bit of an unfortunate run on that map, but other than that, really not a lot for Norway to do there. Reid Hormia, as you said, absolute standout play, but kind of locked in with the fourth player syndrome, I think, at least on that map. Maybe we'll see something different with the more bursty style DTs or the speed tech, but it is a solid first pick in terms of just pure tapping. So
now,
go ahead.
Yeah, now on to the first pick for Norway. My big question is, does Norway just kind of bite the bullet and go for Hidden 2 here? Do they just trust in the carry potential that is the consistency that they have with their roster on that sort of a map? Do they instead go for something like the Nomad 4? They have some very good tech players in addition, of course, Yokespy, but also players like Anthony W. On that roster can be very, very strong on Nomad tech. There's the Free Mod 2 option that they have with Yokespy potentially being able to go easy on that map and a hidden for either Anthony or somebody else on the roster, in addition to, being able to mod Hard Rock for those who want it. So I feel like there's a lot of options for Norway here. It's kind of hard to, at least for me, I think it's kind of hard to say where they want to go on this first pick. But it will be the Free Mod 2, apparently.
Yeah. Kia Dane, that is all Yokespy influence, I'm sure. Pushing for that map. I would have agreed. I definitely think the potential for the Free Mod 2, really the entire Free Mod pool, especially like you mentioned that easy modifier. That Free Mod 3 takes it all the way to 2.8 modifier, which is massive, and we've seen a number of teams try to take advantage of that and slot in a couple of easy players. But this one, it's a very, very flat 1.2 modifier, so you might not see it as much, but I definitely think Norway's got a lot of depth in terms of specialist players to put on the hidden, to put on the hard rock. I imagine they'll double hidden on this.
I think after last weekend, I casted Norway's match last weekend. Last weekend they did, I think it was hidden on, I think it was double hidden and one hard rock for Norway on the Free Mod 2 last weekend. I don't remember. They might have gone double hard rock, one no mod. But the big thing for me was Yokespy just ended up missing on aim like halfway through the map and getting 600k on hidden. I feel like this weekend he probably just takes easy. This is an especially easyable map. Yes, the multiplier on this is only 1.2x, but it entirely gets rid of any variance in the score. So you're effectively guaranteeing 600k versus kind of gambling for more on the score. So I don't know if they want to gamble or guarantee 600k. I think it'll just depend on how comfortable their hidden players feel on this map. You need at least one hidden, one hard rock, so somebody's got to gamble. But for the third mod, it may end up being an easy here for Norway. Marcus, Yokespy, Reed Hormia, Anthony W in for them. Marcus, Reed Hormia, both good targets for the hard rock. Anthony W, Yokespy, both good targets for the hidden or easy, or no mod, honestly. Potentially no mod for anyone on that roster. Kalongi, Monk Noir, Fie, and Mais JD in for France. I'm looking at hard rock on Lonk Noir, and probably, it's going to be Mais JD on the hard rock, and hidden for Fie, who has a client bug there, not displaying the mods. And another one on the side of Norway. Going to be the double hard rock for both teams here, with hidden just on Yokespy and Fie, no mod on Kalongi and Reed Hormia. So no easy for either team. Both just wanting the extra score with the extra mods. A lot of breaks early on, so I don't know. Maybe the easy was optimal if we're going to break right at the beginning of the map, guys.
Hey, you try to give them the advice, they've chose to go against you. We'll see how well it works out for them, but early game, a lot of breaks early on. Anthony W again, really struggling, but a double break from France and Kalongi and Fie, gonna give them a little bit more breathing room as they try and establish a further lead, and Mais JD Miss coming in as well. So really just looking at Long Noir on the hard rock, and I did wonder this. I wanted to see how these teams would perform on the sort of precision elements, and it looks like Norway has a massive advantage right now, but a drop from Marcus going to slow things down.
Yeah, and this is, it's going pretty well for Norway here, right? Yeah, you've got another break for Anthony W. Yeah, it's not huge combo on on Yokespy, but with all the misses coming through for France, it just doesn't matter. It's a recovery combo for Yokespy. It's the full combo on no mod for Reed Hormia, and they are very, very comfortably ahead. 700k advantage for Norway on this map. And it's not the hard rocks making that difference. You look across at the hard rock players, Marcus and Anthony W matching or doing a little bit better than Lonk Noir and Mais JD. It's the Hidden and the Nomad doing the work here for Norway. Yolkspie way outperforming Fie on the Hidden. Reed Hormia way outperforming Kalangi on the Nomad. And that's where all of that score difference is coming from. So Norway, very clearly the more comfortable team on the low approach rate reading in particular. Hard Rock Precision, based on this free mod, probably pretty even between the two teams. But Hidden and low AR reading is absolutely Norway's wheelhouse in this matchup. So I think this was a very good kind of test the waters pick for Norway. It ends up working out very well because they have that super solid advantage on the low AR reading. And that will open up the Hidden 2 at the very least for this Norway team on their second pick.
Yeah, and taking what you've said into account, you may not even see Norway want to play the precision hard rock, but it might sway France away from it as well, which could work in their favor. I might leave them a little late round pick, because I do worry for Norway's pick potential later on into this matchup. France definitely got much more of a clearer path in what they're going to choose. They're going to stick with the DT2, stick with the high BPM stuff. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Got a bit of speed tech, haven't we?
Yeah, agree. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just keep picking into the tapping here. Norway's team is... It's not like they are handicapped on tapping, but they're not particularly good on it either, which is very funny. There's kind of this dichotomy between rank-restricted World Cup Norway teams and open rank World Cup Norway teams, where in OWC you have players like Nineric on the team who make them a decent threat on tapping, but in 4WC you just don't really have any good tapping specialists on this team. It's not like any of these players are particularly bad at it, but we already saw what happened on the Nomad too, right? France just has the better tapping roster here. So it's a little bit of a weird dichotomy. Now, on speed tech maps, there's two things that can happen. One, pure tapping players tend to get a little bit gapped by the aim control, finger control on maps like this that can be a little bit tricky for people who are really, really strong on speed and not on much else. That said, all of the people in for France right now on this roster, players like Mize JD, Flavin, Aqua, all of these people are really good tournament players in general. Nessie, I've seen as well in my tournament that I hosted previously. So all of these people are good tournament players in general. So on top of being good at speed, they should be able to deal with the finger control, aim control in this sort of a map, which should make it a really solid threat for them. As for Norway, the tapping in this isn't quite as intense as it would be in a normal speed pick, right? You do have the finger control, the aim control in this map, so it's not going to be quite as intense on the tapping, so that can make it a little bit better for them, but the comfort isn't going to quite be there for some of these players. You have Ola, Reed Hormia, Frodo, and Anthony W. in for Norway, trying to steal a breakpoint on France's second pick. Nessie, Mize JD, Casey Aqua, and Flavin looking to keep France's nose out in front in this match.
Yeah, and they wasted no time in getting straight into it, and you can already see some struggling accuracies in the first quarter of this map. But it's actually going to be Casey Aqua who's going to be the first one to drop, but probably going to be finding counter break as well. So still 3-3, but accuracy much heavily favored in France at the moment. Norway still sticking into it. Another break from Casey Aqua. So France, they've got three stronger players. They're not finding the combos, but Frodo going down. Tragedy. Very combo heavy as well. Not great on the ag. That's gonna sting.
Yeah, and that's a reverse choke right now for Flavin, right? Just a couple combo behind the FC, or maybe just 50 count. Did have the A rank at the break, so it's still a huge combo lead for France. Reed Hormia and Anthony W. on the full combo are going to keep it somewhat close, but Norway will need a drop from France if they want to take a break point. Meanwhile, France, they're sitting pretty, right? They still have the 3 full combos. Casey Aqua breaks again, but that's not going to matter. There goes Ola as well. That's the biggest supporting combo down for Norway as well. And a quarter of the map left for 50k score lead for France. Unless they all break right now, I think they've pretty much got this in the bag. So solid second pick for France. And like you said, Damarsh, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They first pick tapping, they win convincingly. They second pick tapping, they will once again win convincingly. So solid strategy from France. Just pick the same thing 4 times and surely it'll work.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's simple mathematics, I'm sure. It's, no, great scores all around. Nothing Norway could really do about that. Not really much any team could do about that. That is a wicked high team score. I mean, we have seen some very good... I don't know if we've seen a four-way on this weekend, but we've seen multiple three-way FCs on this map. So for a team that's comfortable with it, expectations are high for those really 3.5 million plus team scores. And again, like you said, there's just nothing Norway can do. It's not their strongest skill set, and that kind of leaves them in a tough situation, to be honest.
Yeah, and they've got one more of those to deal with as well in the DT1. It's not an aim map this week. That's pretty much just burst speed. I mean, there's a little aim, but if you can play the speed, you're going to be just fine on the aim on that map. It's not nearly as difficult as the speed on that. So they've got one more to deal with. After that, they are going to have to pick something besides the speed, whether that's DT Gimmick or something else. We'll be seeing a little later on. As for Norway, I think the very obvious pick here is the Hidden 2, whether they want to go with that or go with something like the No Mod 4, Free Mod 3, maybe Hidden 1 as well. Although Hidden 1 I think is a little bit risky because, again, France, they're not low AR players, but they are good hidden players. So picking something like that into this France roster can be a bit of a trap, even if your team is good at it. So potentially I think more the No Mod 4, Free Mod 3, No Mod 3 are better suited to Norway. Two of those, plus this Hidden 2, I think are probably the picks for Norway in this matchup. But if you want to be safe about it, you just pick the Hidden 2 here, tie things up, and force France into the DT1 next. And well, no, it's going to be the Hidden 1 instead. Okay, I'm not sure how much I like this one. We'll see how it goes. Obviously, Norway is also going to be good at this, where you have players who are good at tech, good at alt, good at hidden. They are inevitably also going to be good at low alt hidden maps like this one that are 160 BPM, a little bit wiggly, a little bit aim control focused, a slight bit of finger control. But again, France has a lot of good hidden players on this roster. You look at players like Fie, like Kalongi, who have been around for a long time, who are really solid on these hidden picks. You look at players like Zhao Mami, who from 5-digit with some tournament performances there has shown to be a really, really strong hidden player. Players like Mize JD are also very strong on this. Casey Aqua is a pretty solid hidden player as well. You can say that about a lot of the players on this roster, and that kind of makes me pause a little bit before recommending this kind of a pick to Norway, but they are going to go with it anyway here. I think largely just due to this being one of their biggest strengths as well.
Yeah, I mean, it is different slightly from the previous week's Hidden 1. It's not kind of testing the same thing, so maybe that's given Norway a bit more confidence to kind of pick into this one. But you know France is still going to put up heavy resistance on this sort of stuff, because like you said, it's not in our minds the clear, decisive pick that we'd expect from, say, Hidden 2, but it could just be that Norway don't feel they need to pick into that. They know that they've got that in the back pocket, and they just want to save it for the later rounds, where France is really, I think, especially on their last pick, going to kind of struggle to find something decisive. So it's an interesting dynamic that these two teams are approaching the match with, really.
All right, let's get into it. Let's see how that dynamic works out on this pick. It's Anthony W, Yokespie, Frodo, and Reed Horimiya in for this pick for Norway. Now, Reed Horimiya, of course, did take the no mod on the free mod too, so not entirely surprising to see them in for this. Not necessarily a well-known hidden player in particular, but I think should be very comfortable on something like this. Kalongi, Fie, Nessie, and Zhao Mami. Again, there's a lot of choices for hidden flow aim players on this French roster, so I think a lot of these players will be quite comfortable with this. Early break for Zhao Mami on the side of France. Everybody else still holding on to the full combo, but accuracy lead on the side of France right now, giving them the score lead despite the combo deficit.
Yeah, a bad break there for Reed Horimiya, who was already really struggling accuracy-wise on this Hidden 1, is kind of leaving Norway at a bit of a score deficit at the moment. especially with the Xiaomai Mommy recovery, which is going to get more and more dangerous the further we go into this map. But it's still 3-4 combos either side. So I'm still waiting for the next break, and there it comes. Fie coming in for France. Reed Hamami going to be finding another break, but doesn't matter because they've already found that break. So Norway's still going to be pulling score back eventually.
Oh, and there's another one to come through for Xiaomai Mommy, but it's matched by Frodo. Now it's 2 full combos to 2. Basically no other combo anywhere in the lobby right now. Reed Horimiya drops once again. It's Fie with a slightly better supporting combo, but he drops also right afterwards. Nessie, Xiaomai Mommy drops. There's the one of the full combos gone for France. It's just Kalongi versus Anthony W and Yolkspie. We're going to be coming up to a couple of the really tricky patterns here soon. I think the second of those really difficult high spacing wiggle patterns, one of them vertical, I think that we saw earlier, one of them now horizontal near the end of the map that goes from the right side to the left side of the screen. I think that's what this map is going to come down to. Here it is. Who hits it? Both of the FCs for Norway hit it. Kalongi also makes it through, but there's just no other combo anywhere on France, and these FCs for Norway are going to be enough to bring this to the end of the map for them to hold on to the score lead to secure the point. That looked dicey in the middle of the map. They did not have that score lead until basically 2/3 or 3/4 of the way into the map, when the breaks all came through 3 at a time for France on everyone besides Kalongi, who does finish out the full combo with the best act in the lobby. But it's just not enough. The almost double FC for Norway, Anthony W choking right at the end with the slider break, and decent support on Frodo and Reed Horimiya, going to be enough to tie it up 2-2.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question that was a dicey pick, but again, France just fell to that kind of domino effect. You know, one went, then the other, and suddenly they dropped 3 big combos all at the same time, and it was just such a score deficit for them that Norway was able to claw back the advantage that France had given away. It's, again, another solid Norway pick, and as I said before, the further we go into this match, the stronger Norway looks on their remaining picks. I mean, you've still got some of that free mod open, you've still got no mod 4 and hidden 2 available to them. They're starting to look a bit scary as France really, in my mind, banks on that DT1, and then where else do they go?
Yeah, it may be tough after this DT1 for France. I think that is the problem with picking into speed in particular, is it can be a bit of a one-dimensional skill set. Now, I feel like that's also the case for low approach rate in general. So I feel like there is going to be something else for this French roster, whether that's one of the hard rocks or something like the Nomad 3. They did have, of course, good scores on that hidden 1. It was pretty close on that map, right? The main difference was the double FC into the ending from Yolkspie and Anthony versus the single FC from Kalongi. The support for France was better than the support for Norway. So we'll maybe see something like the Nomad 3 or the Free Mod 3 for France to come out. Maybe pick into the hard rock or DT3. I think it just depends a lot on the comfort for the players on the particular maps after this one. And we're not talking a lot about this map because it's kind of a foregone conclusion. We've seen 2 speed maps and 2 very convincing victories for France so far in this match. This one going to be more of the same. It's 278 BPM and pretty much just all bursts. This is as straightforward as it gets in this pool, outside of maybe Nomad 5, which of course is banned. So this is the most straightforward speed test that they have in the pool for France. And I think probably the most secure of the tapping maps for this team. So I'm kind of assuming this is going to be 3-2. It's going to go back to Norway. We will probably see the hidden 2. If we don't see that, I'm hoping for Nomad 4 for Norway. And after that, I think things get real tricky for both teams.
Yeah, it does. It doesn't leave a lot of choice for both teams, really. But I do think this map in particular has got the higher skill ceiling, like you said, in terms of the speed requirement. the bursts. It's if you can't, you can't, and that is the whole thing for nearly three whole minutes. So we'll see if Norway can pull something out of the bag, but I don't think anyone's really got any expectation that they're going to be able to flip this one, because it is such a fast favorite map.
Yeah, I think you can see kind of out of the gate, there's a few people who are going to be pretty comfortable on this, and then a couple who are maybe going to struggle a little bit. You have 90 accuracy on Frodo, you have 95 on Lolo-K. You also have 93 on Kalongi on the side of France. So there's a few high accuracy players, and now 96 on Ala as well on the side of Norway. There goes the first break, though, actually from Flavin, who had the highest accuracy on France's side. So, and MyJD also breaking at the very beginning of the map. I did not notice that very, very early break, but there's a couple of breaks for Norway at the same time. MyJD finding another one, and Reed Horme and Frodo both finding the drop there. Now the low act play on Frodo, maybe not quite as impactful, but Reed Horme was holding a double S to that point. So that's a high act full combo down for Norway, 2-2 on the FC's support, slightly favoring France, but now 1-2 in favor of Norway on those FCs. Nessie going down, Ola trading, Reed Horamiya trading. It's just Lolo-K versus the world right now. Kalongi on the FC, MyJD and Flavin with support, and no extra combos anywhere on Norway. It's a 90,000 score lead. It is by no means a foregone conclusion, but this is much, much scrappier than we thought it would be.
Yeah, and especially something else to consider as well, Kalongi with a low accuracy full combo at the moment as well, so that's going to hurt the overall score gap. So really relying a lot on those recovery combos from MyJD and Flavin, but luckily the accuracies are there for them, so quite a nice balance they've got there. Frodo going to be coming in with a miss though, so another reset for Norway. Still not looking good, but well within their potential range, but they are once again relying on a mistake from the French roster, and they're not known on these speed maps for being that forgiving. So let's see what the final quarter does bring. There's two of the combos for Norway beginning to recover quite nicely, but France looking so good, and there goes Lolo-K, the last one down. I mean, it's Kalongi does drop in the end, but Flavin and Nessie are there. Isolates it so well, and this pick is over, I'm afraid.
Yeah, it looked contestable for Norway until the ending, really. You started getting a lot more drops for Norway after that break, right before the last third or so of the map. And then at that point, it was just a matter of France holding, Norway breaking, and that 90,000 score lead ballooning into 460k in France's favor, going down a little bit there at the end from 470k. Triple 700k, triple 770k there for France. And only Lolo-K matching up to that margin on the side of Norway. There's just not a lot that you can do as Norway to try and take that point unless you have maybe just a couple of fewer misses. Reed Horamiya missing pretty much exactly halfway through in that pick potentially could have changed a little bit of that score lead if they held on farther until the end, but realistically, with that kind of a score lead for France, 460k, it's really hard for any one player to make up that difference, and it is indeed going to be another point on the board for France. 3-2 now, the scoreline in their favor, and Norway left with yet another decision. They've gone for the free mod 2, the hidden 1. Do they go into the hidden 2 here, combine the low AR and the hidden, or do they go for something a little bit more aim control focused? Move into the Nomad 4, maybe the free mod 3, one of the other tech maps. Do they go for something like the Nomad 3 instead? There's a few options here on the more gimmicky side that I think will be comfortable for their team, but none better, in my opinion, than the hidden 2. So if they want to secure last pick for their team, I think the hidden 2 is the safest option, but it kind of delays the inevitable here, right? It delays an easier or a more difficult map choice later on into the match, but instead, what I think they're doing is saving the hidden 2 for last pick and going for the free mod 3 here. They've kind of been dancing around this the entire time, right? They crushed free mod 2, particularly on their Nomad and hidden players, making a massive score difference for them. So The only way that not picking this hidden 2 makes sense in my mind is if they want to save it for last, either to secure a tiebreaker or to secure the win after a breakpoint. This free mod 3, still, I think, going to be a solid pick for them. It's a stream and aim control focused tech map more than a slider tech map like the Nomad 4. Definitely still has some elements of it, but at CS 2.8, it's a lot more focused on the aim control and flow aim in this pick, which we've already seen them do very well on the hidden 1.
Yeah, and again, I want to see it so bad from one of these players. Come on, Norway, don't let me down. I want to see that easy modifier just once. I want it so bad, man.
2.8x multiplier, is it enough? 1.4 million for a double S. Is it enough to actually make you go easy on this, though?
I mean, it is a risky play. You can drop a lot from not having that. There's an argument to say you would see it, and an argument to say you wouldn't see it. I definitely think in this situation, it's worthy enough of a gamble to go for. But it is quite unforgiving with the easy modifier, especially with the CS being so high. It just really intensifies the reading and density elements that are already tricky enough with the tech element slapped on top there, but didn't quite get a good look there.
Yeah, no, not going to be the easy mod for Norway, but it is going to be the easy mod for France. FIE is taking easy on this free mod 3. Now, the easy multipliers are supposed to be built into the client overlay here. So the score difference you see at the bottom is the actual score difference for either of these teams. Double hard rock for both these teams, or sorry, double hard rock for France, double hidden for Norway. 4-way full combo and still intact for Norway. A couple of early misses here for France on FIE and Kalangi in particular. There goes Frodo, there goes Lonk Noir as well. And this map just really does not let up at all. Once it starts, it never stops. Reed Hormia also finding the break, and another break for Lonk Noir and FIE here on the hard rock and easy. Mize JD also breaking. No FCs left for France. And easy gambit or not, Norway look to be dominating this. Finally a drop for Anthony W on the hard rock. But who else but Yolks Pie to hold the only FC on the map halfway in?
Yeah, let's not count Frodo out either. Great recovery combo on the hidden as well. Dropping a bit of accuracy here and there, but it isn't mattering. It's the combo that's doing the damage. Just helping Yolks Pie really storm ahead. As France kind of begin to fall apart here, we see Mize JD find another break there. He brings him further behind, especially when he's holding one of the better accuracies on his team. FIE with a great recovery though, trying to do a bit of work on the easy, but those dropped so much accuracy from the start. Went from 98 down to 96 now.
And, I mean, at this point, there's just nothing that France can do here at the end. Yolks Pie, how many years in a row has it been that he's been on this 4-digit World Cup team for Norway? How many years in a row has it been that he's been on their OWC team, or at least a contender for being on it? How many years in a row has he been a mainstay in the tournament scene for exactly these kinds of plays, pop-offs on the tech maps and hidden low AR maps all over the map pool? He can't play the speed. He cannot do the mechanics nearly as well as so many other players in this rank range. But when it comes to his specialty, these gimmick maps, the tech maps, the low AR reading, this guy's just unrivaled. Pulls off the full combo and secures the point handily for Norway, who now, I mean, their last pick is set up. They've got this hidden too, just staring France in the face. After that free mod 2, I am terrified of that pick for France. So France, you now have the pressure on to pick correctly, because you know Norway is saving this hidden 2 for last. Where do they go now?
Yeah, it's a tough question. I mean, the the big one is the Hard Rock. It's been left alone this entire pool. They've double picked into Hard Rock multiple times. But again, Norway have also shown their Hard Rock capability. You know, they have had multiple players, not the same ones, go on the Hard Rock. So it is a bit of a risky pick. Do they bank on the No Mod 3? I don't want to say Free Mod 1 because Norway just look too deadly, and it is the No Mod 3 coming out for France here.
Okay, I'm interested in this pick. I think this can be good for France. The other options in the pool right now just aren't all that good when you consider the Nomad 1 ban for France, right? You don't really want to pick Hard Rock 1 if your team is also banning the Nomad 1. It's just too similar of a map. Free Mod 1 is also going to be kind of similar. It's not quite the same, but it's still an aim consistency map. So let's just remove those two. Both the rest of the free mods are gone. The other Hard Rock is something you were close with Norway on, or at least how the free mod 2 went, where both teams went double Hard Rock there. And then you have, well, the Nomad 3, the Nomad 4. Nomad 4 you really don't want, I think, after how that free mod 3 went and seeing how Yolkspie just popped off on that. So you've got Nomad 3 in the Nomad pool, you've got maybe Hard Rock 2 and maybe DT3, and that's kind of it. All of those are a little gimmicky, right? They're all either flow focused or more kind of aim control focused like this map is. And I think after the Hidden 1, going for something that is a little bit more snap aim focused as opposed to flow or precision, 3 in the Hard Rock 2, I think is probably ideal in this case. So I can agree with the Nomad 3 pick here. It's just that it's not all that convincing of a pick based on what we've seen of the match so far. But we haven't seen all that much, right? All France has picked is speed so far. So we don't know how they're going to do on something like this. It's completely different from what we've seen in the match so far. And that can be a little scary for both teams. Let's get into it. MyJD, Kalongi, Fie, and Xiaomamami looking to secure match point and at the worst, a tiebreaker for France. Yolkspie, Anthony W, Reed Hormia, and Frodo looking to secure the break point for Norway and make that almost certain last pick Hidden 2 hit that much harder.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. I think when you actually sit down and work it out, you know, I don't think France are feeling too confident overall in their aim and their mostly mechanics. So I think this is probably the most closely related to what they've been picking so far, right? They've been picking on a lot of bursty, snappy kind of stuff with the nature of DT and how it changes a map. So I think this is their best shot, but it's a rough start for France here. You've got a couple of bloody breaks from Fie and Xiaomamami, but a long way to go in this one. Nearly 4 minutes in length, 3 minutes 46 in total. And Norway not putting a foot wrong so far does beg the question, are Norway just the dark horse of this tournament? And certainly this matchup.
Will depend on how this Nomad 3 goes, I think, especially for next week's match. Frodo now finding the first miss for Norway. That score lead going to start to go back the way of France. Xiaomamami and Fie have recovered well. They're only about 100 combo down from an FC each, so that is now about a 400 combo lead for France as Frodo finds another couple of breaks on that ending pattern at the end of the first PI time. And now it's 3 full. Oh, make that only 2. Yolkspie just misses on the middle here. I remember playtesting this map and feeling like this middle section was deceptively hard, and apparently Norway's players agree. Anthony W, Yolkspie, both finding breaks there in the middle of the map. France, however, begged to differ. All 4 of them holding. Reed Hormia also finding the break. Finally, somebody else on France drops in return. It is Kalongi and MyJD to find the misses, but Fie and Xiaomamami on these recovery reverse chokes just crushing this middle section of the map. Fie will finally drop, but not before helping secure that 250,000 score lead for France on Nomad 3, and Xiaomamami there to pick up the slack and keep it running up.
Oh, such tragedy for Norway. That first third of the map, so solid. And like you said, that tricky halfway point. And you know as well their scores are going to get capped so harshly because of it. It's hard to see a way back in for Norway here. I mean, they've got a decent Yolkspie combo. It's the highest in the lobby so far, with Kalongi not far behind and Anthony also there, but Reed Horimiya and Frodo both finding resets. I don't think it's going to be enough to chase nearly 240k without a complete reset from France.
Well, that complete reset has almost happened. Mize JD FA both having broken. Jaume Mami only on 200 combo. Just Kalongi with a little bit extra there for France. But like you said, it's just not moving over all that quickly. It's still well above 200,000, and another break comes through for Reed Horimiya. And I feel like that's pretty much it. We're nearing the end of the map here. There's still a good 230,000 points in France's favor right now. And it looks like they will be securing match point here against Norway. It's not all of the gimmick maps. It's not all of the aim control maps that Norway has dominion over in this match. And France place their pick well. They go with the snappiest of those aim control picks, and it works out very well for them. 236k up on Norway on the Nomad 3 and 4 points up in the match.
Yeah, and that's going to give your team such a confidence boost going into Norway's final pick, which I think on paper is very, very much decided already. But
it should just be the hidden 2, man. It really should. They're timing out here. I don't know what the holdup is. Surely it's just hidden 2, right? Like, surely.
There's no way that they're thinking of going anywhere else. I mean, where would they go? Where would they go?
Nomad
4?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's it. I think it's just the Nomad 4 is the only other pick that they're maybe considering. Unless they're like, man, they banned Nomad 1. They haven't picked any aim whatsoever. Maybe we just go Hard Rock 1 or Freemod 1. But I feel like that's just... I feel like all of those options are just worse than Hidden 2. Like, you saw what happened on Freemod 2 earlier in this match. It was Yolkspie and I believe it was Anthony W on the Nomad, or no, Reed Horimiya on the Nomad, excuse me, just absolutely gapping the 2 Hidden and Nomad players from France on the Freemod 2. I feel like when you have that big of a score lead on the Freemod 2 generated entirely by your Nomad and Hidden players, and the Hard Rock players are matching, you just go for the Hidden 2, surely.
I mean, there is that thing I mentioned at the start of this matchup, which was that both teams looked strong on Hidden 2, especially last week. You know, both of these teams, they had it banned against them, so maybe Norway are just psyched out on it. Maybe they're just completely mind-blocked and they think that we just can't we can't guarantee a win. We don't want to go there. And they have picked very decisive maps.
Still, though, 900k for Reed Horimiya on Nomad on Crash, excuse me. Almost 900k for Yolkspie on Hidden. Whereas Kalongi got 450k on Nomad. FA bottom scored for France with 350k on Hidden. Like, surely, if those are your best players on Freemod 2, the rest of your team is just not going to do all that well on this Hidden 2. But, I mean, if it was that good for them last weekend, maybe they are getting psyched out a little bit. You can't always trust how Freemod translates to Hidden low AR. These are very different types of maps, right? So potentially the rest of the roster for Norway is not as good. Potentially the rest of the roster for France maybe a little bit better because of how the map changes. It's tough to tell, but they're going to have to make a decision soon here. This timer will run out in about a minute or so. They've got maybe 60 seconds left. Where else are they going? I think the Nomad 4 is the most likely. I think off chance they pick an aim map.
I'd see him picking Hard Rock 2 in any universe. I just can't see it.
No, I don't think so. I think you're wanting to lean on what has worked so far, right? Which is really the Yolks Pie carry maps. I mean, that is what has gotten you to this point. It was Reed Horimiya, Yolks Pie on the free mod 2. It was Yolks Pie and Anthony W on the hidden 1, which they would also be good on the no mod 4, sure. And then it was Yolks Pie, Anthony W on the free mod 3. They would also be good on the no mod 4. Those two players have been your best performers. Lean into what they're good at. It is going to be hidden 2 after all.
Oh man, I think that psyched us out more than it did Norway.
I mean, like I don't know, man. Maybe they were using the timeout to get a little extra practice in or something. I don't know. Whole lobby's empty, so you never know.
Maybe they're just getting the tiebreaker time in. maybe Norway have not played tiebreaker.
Yeah, potentially. Maybe that's what they were using it for.
It is 7 minutes. I know many players who do not want to play 7-minute tiebreakers and will refuse to do so before a match. Many players.
Well, we're here. We are ready to go. It is the Hidden 2, after all. Teddy the Teddy by Mewship. Hidden extra difficulty. This is mostly overlap rhythm reading is what this is. It's just a very tricky sort of map. So let's see how it goes. I feel like that will do very well for players like Yolks Pie, Reed Horimiya, Anthony W in particular on this Norway team. Their fourth player might be a little gapped. I can't lie. I don't think they have a good fourth player for this. It seems like it's going to be Frodo, who... Now, Frodo is a good all-rounder, but he is not a reading player, so this is potentially going to not do so well here. And it does look like Mr. Wang is in instead of Reed Horimiya, so going to have a couple of subs here for Norway. You're looking at Yolks Pie and Anthony W on this map, really. Those are the two players on this Norway team who I think you're really looking at, unless I don't know something about Mr. Wang that I should. On the side of France, Zhao My Mommy, Kalongi, Mais JD, and Fie in France. Looking for a breakpoint, looking to avoid tiebreaker, looking to prevent the upset all at once by winning this Hidden 2. Norway looking to force tiebreaker against France to continue the possibility of a double upset in their winner's bracket run.
And I have a small theory about how this map is gonna go, but I'm gonna keep it to myself because I don't want to read the script out loud. But in theory, it should be a fairly one-sided affair. But a break from Mr. Wang early on immediately knocks my confidence. Oh no! It's early days. It's early days.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how well this goes overall. Actually, Mr. Wang's was Bancho. It looks like just Frodo with the early miss there for Norway. Fie with one in trade for France. Slight combo lead for Norway off of the ordering of those misses. Nothing else right now. Accuracy a little favored towards France, but generally pretty similar. Mr. Wang does find one miss there now for Norway, and it's again a miss from Fie to trade. Not really who you want to find the miss there if you are Norway, though. It's FC for not FC, as 3 still intact for France. Only 2 for Norway, and there goes Frodo as well. And again, it is Yolks Pie, Anthony W. Those are the 2 players we said you should look at on this map for Norway, but it's still 3, now 2 FCs for France. Mais JD also finding the drop there. And now it's just 2-2 on the FCs. Zhao My Mommy and Kalongi versus Yolks Pie and Anthony W. And there goes Kalongi. Now it's Norway's turn to build up some score with the FC advantage.
Yeah, but it has been a closely contested first half. We'll see if it changes. I mean, it's a very stop-start map, this. You know, it's the swing style, kind of like Japanese jazz style music, so it is a bit of a eye strain. You got to really focus, especially on these slower sections, which will catch players out, and it does catch Anthony. He goes down, and it's a 3-way for Norway. They drop 3 combos at once.
No, Bancho! Bancho for Anthony. He is still alive on the FC. And that score lead will fix itself as Bancho readjusts to Anthony W actually having combo. But the supporting combos for Norway did break there. And for France, they are holding. You can see this score lead basically not moving at about 30k, 40k, 50k for Norway right now. No, Yokes fly! Yokes fly misses on air! He misses on the slow section. That is disaster for Norway. These huge recovery combos for France. 400 on Kalongi and MyJD, 500 for VA. But there goes John My Mommy. It's Anthony W versus the world, though. 3v1. Support versus FC. There needs to be another break for France if Norway want to force tiebreaker here, but the score lead's already 80k. There goes MyJD and VA both breaking. Kalongi, the only one left. Is there enough time? We're right at the end of the map here. More misses coming through from Mr. Wang. Norway, you have to stop missing. Anthony W. Can he hold long enough to the ending? Can he clutch out the win for Norway? It's still 10k. It's coming back. But is there enough? It's just a couple objects here near the end. And I don't know. Kalongi misses at the end. What is happening with the score? Bancho not keeping up with the match. And 18k for Norway at the end. It seemed to just flicker there at the very end of the map. Is that actually the win? It is for Norway. FC for Anthony W, 24,962 points on the MP link for Norway. And for the 6th time this weekend in round of 16, we get Shadowmaker.
Oh, my heart. My heart was not ready for that. I mean, I know I said I knew what the script was, but my notes didn't have it that close. Oh my god. I mean, this is a low BPM map, right? It's hard to call this in my mind. I want to say it may be slightly, ever so slightly Norway favored. But after what we saw on that very slow-paced Hidden 2, I have my doubts. I genuinely have my doubts. Yokes got so nervous and missed on nothing. So I'm not sure whether Norway can rely on him here.
It's really tough. I feel like this map in particular is... It's such a weird tiebreaker in this matchup. On the one hand, it's got basically no streams. So to some extent, that should be good for Norway, right? And France banned the Nomad 1 in this matchup. They didn't want long aim consistency to be a pick in this match. On the other hand, we just watched France win the Nomad 3. This is not that much a lower BPM. It's 126 versus 140 BPM. It's very similar overall. It's kind of an alt map. So it can be... I think this can go either way. This is a really stressful situation for both of these teams, and we're gonna get hopefully a very close tiebreaker between these two teams. Damarsh, what do you think the rosters are even for these teams? Because we've seen players swapping in and out for all manner of maps, but we haven't seen anything quite like this. In particular, no aim consistency the entire match.
I mean, I'm definitely on the side of Norway, expecting Anthony and Yokes on this. I'd be surprised for Norway to bench Anthony on this sort of map. This does spike in difficulty though, so you might see some more variable players coming in for Norway on this one. I would be expecting to maybe see Lolo K maybe come in for this, and Reed Horimiya, because they've been having a really good game. But France, you know, you're looking at Kalongi, MyJD, Nessie I'm not 100% sure on. But
I think the fourth just has to be Fie, right?
Yeah, Fie.
Right.
Or could it be Zhao? Zhao My Mommy, maybe? Maybe?
I think on the tiebreaker like this, you want whoever is going to be most consistent and able to control their nerves. and have the pop-off potential to full combo, right? And that is going to be Fie for France. Jean Mami is good, of course, but is coming from mostly 5-digit tournaments, and I think Fie is just going to be the better pick because of that. Has a lot more experience at these higher rank range tournaments, particularly in 4-digit World Cup already. So, going to be just fine here on the tiebreaker. Oh man, Damarsh. We get another real solid match for ourselves. Mr. Wang, Yokespy, Anthony W, and Frodo for Norway, looking to finish the double upset run in round of 32 and round of 16 and prove that they were, in fact, underseeded. That the qualifiers run for Norway was a fluke and that this team deserves some respect. For France, it's Kalongi, Nessie, Mize JD, and Fie looking to deny the choker accusations for France as a country in World Cups. This country, in the last few years, really since about 2022 or so, in World Cup tournaments, just has not had the best history. They were once a team of renown. Facing France early stage used to strike fear into the hearts of other teams. And this team, I think in part, should be looking to strike that fear back into people's hearts again to avoid choking when so close to victory. By 24,000 on Hidden 2, now into tiebreaker.
Will they be dominated, or will Norway show stronger mental? A team of vibes versus a domineering team. What a battle we find ourselves in. And at the moment, there is an advantage. Oh no, Mize JD, I'd missed that break. Early on, long way to go, but it's not the start you want for France to kick things off. They will slowly start to lose that over time, but a lot of accuracy drops coming in for Norway, but it doesn't matter. Kalongi finds a miss as well. Here we go, continuing on. The combos hold strong for Norway, but it's after the first quarter that we really start to see this man ramp up a little bit more, and then we'll see who's still left standing after that. Still so close. Accuracy versus combo right now. I'm amazed France is still ahead here. It's going to put a lot of pressure on Norway right now. Can they hold on to this?
Yeah, this accuracy advantage for France is just doing so much work. It's the combo lead for Norway, and that is eventually going to start to matter a lot. But that's only once we get to a really significant combo. I'm talking 1,500 plus for all of these players with this low accuracy. And there goes Yokespy. Kalongi will trade it. It's a trade of high combos. Fie also finding the drop. It's 3 FCs now for Norway to just the 1 on Nessie for France. Another break for Yokespy to come through at the end of that pattern. Just a little bit of a misaim on the snap at the end of that stream. Mize JD on big combo. Nessie on the FC to combat the 3-way FC for Norway into the first BPM change section. A bit of a speed up here, some more lower BPM streams and high BPM alt in this section. How well do these players adjust to the transition? Frodo, the first to fall out of the high combos on either team. It's now 2-2 in terms of high combos. Slightly better support for France, slightly better high combos for Norway. How long can they hold on? Mr. Wang, not long enough. Nessie and Mize JD now in control of the match for France. Another break to come through for Frodo as well. It's just Anthony W once again left alone on Norway. Nessie to match. Mize JD with a 1,000 combo advantage. Free extra combo for France on that bottom left player, as Fie and Kalongi will outmatch the supporting scores on the side of Norway. Now just match with the traded breaks for Fie and Mr. Wang. And Damarsh, this is extremely close, but that extra combo for Mize JD is just doing so much work.
Oh, it really is, but there goes Nessie, full combo down for France. It's just Mize, and all the supports are gone. alongside with it. And Anthony is looking strong. Incredible accuracy so far. 1500 combo. Watch him go. Yokes is there on the support, the one you want, watching your backside. We've still got well over a third of the map left, but Norway look to take this. Mise JD is the last pillar remaining for France here. Can they make something of it? It's up to Norway to make that decision for them. They have to find a break for France to come back into this.
But Anthony finds the miss-aim. He actually drops on the wide-angle jumps, just barely miss-aims one of those big jumps. It's Mr. Wang to find another break for Norway. Yolks Pie now up against Mise JD, down nearly 700 combo on those big scores. Matching support for Frodo and Kalangi, but extra combo on Nessie and Fie as well. It's a total near 1,000 extra combo for France right now. And as long as Mise JD keeps holding this reverse choke, there is no comeback world for Norway. There goes Frodo as well. The last big support combo down now for Norway. It's just Yolks Pie versus the world. But there goes Mise JD. That's the one combo they needed to drop. The nerves in this 1/3 jump section can be brutal, as now it's Yolks Pie versus Kalangi and Nessie. The combo's basically even, but there goes Kalangi as well now. It's only Nessie. Mr. Wang slightly building up some supporting combo for Yolks Pie, and now the shoe back on the other foot, about 800 combo. But Yolks Pie goes down as well. Nessie is trying back and forth. Nessie also finding the drop. Mr. Wang now, the only combo in the lobby. Everybody else 150 combo or lower. 26,000 score in favor of France, and Mr. Wang with destiny in his hands. How long can he hold on to this paltry combo to try to pull this back slowly to Norway's side? Nessie finding another drop for France is going to speed things up just a little bit, but it may just be enough. A sliver of map left, a sliver of time left on the clock for Mr. Wang, and only 12,000 points to France's name right now. How long will it take? How much longer must they wait for Norway to pull this back? Because they do have this combo lead. It's under 10k, but it's flickering back above. The accuracy still doing work even this late into the match. 98s on Nessie and Fie, and only 9,700 points going into the end of the map with combo advantage for Norway. Mr. Wang, you cannot drop here if you want to bring it home. Yolks Pie is going to find the miss in his stead, and that bumps the score lead back up alongside another miss for Frodo. France, I think those misses may have just saved this tiebreaker for them. Mise JD will find the drop, but it's still maybe enough here for Norway to bring it back. They need another miss for France, I think, though. 28k in France's favor, and it is going to stay on the side of France. Norway will be denied the upset, and France, they will secure the winners quarterfinals. They will say, not today. We are not choking this win. Maybe you'll win by 24k on the hidden two, but we'll get you right back on the tiebreaker by 28,000 points. France advance to the quarterfinals.
Just such drama, such cinema from both teams, but tragedy struck at the wrong time for the Norwegians. So close and yet so far, but they fall just short of that hurdle, that final sprint to the finish. They let it slip away. Those breaks at the end of that map, so brutal. You can't help but look at your opponent's score, and they just looked at the wrong time, and they weren't focused on bringing it home. And that was the difference maker at the end. That's all that was in it. They were 9k away right at the end of that map, and they just let it slip away with those double misses from Yolks and I think it was Frodo at the end there.
Yeah, and that's tough for Norway, right? You get some nerves looking at the score at the end of the map maybe, and that's all it really takes, unfortunately. They are going to drop to losers bracket, but man, what a match. 8 picks in a row of each team successfully picking for themselves. Not a single breakpoint that entire match is honestly amazing. We see so many breakpoints in tournaments, especially between relatively evenly matched teams, but both of these teams just seemed to have the other's number throughout the entire match. It was just trade after trade, and then the ending of this match between the Bancho lag on Hidden 2, it was in reality still a win for Norway by 24,000 points. And then into tiebreaker where France clutch up. They clutched that by 26,591 points. Not even 28K, like I said at the end there. 26,000 points. It's an absolutely insane scoreline and a ridiculous ending to a match that to that point had been entirely on script. So what a deliverance at the end. They are, of course, not done in this tournament for Norway. They will drop down to losers bracket to face the United Kingdom in the losers round 2. And of course, France will move on. Their reward for a hard-fought 5-4 tiebreaker victory by 26,000 points is the United States of America, seed number 1 in the quarterfinals.
Oh man, tragic. But that's how seeding works. You go from close to really far away. But you know, if France can show that kind of mental resolve, maybe they have broken through the barriers, but they will, like you said, have a tough matchup in front of them, even tougher than this one. So we wish them all the best. Of course, Norway, how am I supposed to decide? I love the Norwegian team, but I have to support my boys from the UK. That is going to be a slaughter of a losers bracket match. I don't want to be either team in that one.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. Both those teams, I think, are quite good. UK took Romania to a 5-4 tiebreaker loss in round of 32, and of course defeated Colombia 5-1. Not really any problems for them in that matchup here in losers round 1, round of 16. So both these teams looking good, looking strong, with of course Norway finding that early upset against Brazil. So I am very much looking forward to that match next weekend. That, however, is going to do it for us for now. We have just a couple more matches left. In fact, just one more match here left in the round of 16. It is a losers bracket match, and it's by the two teams that these two knocked down to losers in the round of 32. Of course, Brazil beating Norway in an upset victory, and France beating Ukraine. But we've all seen Ukraine in World Cups recently. There is a little more than meets the eye with that Ukrainian roster. They still took 2 points off France, just like Brazil took 2 points off Norway. If these two teams went to tiebreaker and they both got 2 points taken off them by those teams in the losers bracket, I'm assuming that one's going to be pretty damn good as well, despite the seeding difference once again. Tune into that match at 21 UTC, 45 minutes from now. And after that one, we will have the quarterfinals map pool showcase as well here. Thank you very much to Mabashik for reffing. Thank you to Robot Skin for streaming, to Damarsh for casting alongside me, to you all for watching. Congratulations once again to France on the victory. Good luck to Norway in the losers bracket. We'll see you all back here in 45 minutes on the one stream for Brazil versus Ukraine.